exclusive. eBay CEO Jamie Iannone. Jamie, let me get your assessment of how the U.S.-China tariff agreement could help eBay from what you know so far.
Yeah, I think it could help us because, we're there to serve small businesses. So the clarity of what's happening with tariffs, I think, is helpful. We have a lot of small businesses who are really nimble and they adjust. What we saw from our China-based sellers before was that they opened up new corridors of sale, like into UK and into Germany, to really grow their businesses. And so we do see it as potentially beneficial.
Okay. And again, as we're looking at the relief that may come from the lower duty on goods imported from China, what do you expect to see in your marketplace? Because we're heading into the key holiday season where, I love eBay. We've talked about this. You need a lot of more customers at this point.
Well, look, eBay has a lot of momentum right now. In fact, I would say it's healthier now than since I've started as CEO over the last 5.5 years. And we put up a really great quarter. Our GMV grew 8%. Our focus categories that we've been investing in, they grew 15% year on year. Our U.S. business was the real highlight and standout. It grew 13% year on year. And so we come into the holiday with actually a lot of momentum. Consumers, especially in the U.S., have stayed strong for us. And we're seeing broad-based strength across the board, across all of our focus categories, across all of our price points, both high and low. Our luxury businesses, I know you bought a great purse off of eBay recently, as we talked about last time, Liz, all the way down to parts and accessories, really broad-based strength across the board. So we come into it with a lot of momentum and strength.
Okay, so help me understand why then you lowered the outlook for the holiday season.
Yeah, if you actually look at it, we beat expectations this quarter across the board. And we gave guidance of 4 to 6% for next year, which is, strong mid-single digit growth. There's lots of the quarter left to go. As you know, in holiday season, the next 8 weeks are the big weeks of the quarter. Mm-hmm. But coming into it, we aren't trying to signal any softness. In fact, the business is, as I've said, stronger than I've been since, the last 5.5 years. The other thing that's different is eBay is really a place that has value. We focus on used and pre-loved and refurbished. So even in our international markets where the consumer is more stretched, they turn to eBay because of what they can get in terms of, they can get a used product that's just like new or a refurbished product that's 40% off. And really leaning into that value has been a key part of our value proposition. And I think that makes us more resilient no matter what's happening in the macro environment.
One of the things that we've seen, I want to say just this week, massive layoffs. Amazon laying off 14,000 people. Target laying off more than 1,000. We've got UPS, 14,000. And at least in the case of Amazon, they are pointing to AI as part of the reason that they are hearing from shareholders. And they've also seen the actual aspects of this, that shareholders really want to see slimmer headcount. Is that going to hit you guys?
About how do we use our own models and our own data to drive really great tools and technology for customers?
Well, Jamie, I know it's a rough day for you. It's a tough day for the stock, but we appreciate you coming on because I always believe that now is the time to get out there and at least tell the story of the future for eBay. Appreciate you coming on.